Autopsy results explain that Army's women's basketball coach Maggie Dixon had an enlarged heart and a problem with a heart valve. No matter how simple the explanation, who can really understand why a woman just 28 passes away? Dixon and her brother, Pitt head coach Jamie Dixon, made history just last month as the first brother-sister combo to lead their teams to the NCAA tournaments the same year. But now the Dixon family is in mourning, and so is a community of cadets. Josh Elliott reports from West Point.
No college campus is more acutely familiar with grief and mourning over a life lost long before its time. But at West Point, there is a palpable shock and profound sadness. Maggie Dixon was neither soldier nor officer, but she was a leader.
Her presence is what really struck us. I mean, that's the impact a leader can have. And in a house of leaders, she stood out.
She exuberated courage, strength, caring. She just embodied everything that we learned here at West Point.
Her energy just kind of seeped into everyone else, and she's everything that we talk about here, being a leader. She was everything and more.
A successful assistant coach at DePaul, the 28-year-old Dixon was hired by Army just 11 days before this season to turn around a program that had never won its conference or reached the NCAA tournament.
Maggie was a strong, happy, excited young woman, and we looked at each other, the seniors, and said, she's it, she's our coach, we have to get her.
I think every single one of us fell in love with her the second we saw her.
We knew that she was just the perfect fit for this program.
Yeah, you couldn't not love Maggie. She had an energy that would soak into everyone.
We told her that we would leave it all on the line for her, that we'd fight till the end for her, and we did, and she did for us.
Despite a 5-7 start, Dixon's team would finish 20-11. The final victory, a one-point come-from-behind thriller over Holy Cross for the Patriot League Tournament Championship.
Army can celebrate a mad rush by the Cadets, who are the champions of the Patriot League.
It was amazing. I just remember all the football players storming out to get her and lifting her up, and she looked terrified. Bless her heart, she looked terrified.
You know, we call her a rock star and all-star, and she'd just laugh and say, oh, give me a break, you know.
There's no doubt in my mind we could never have done this without her.
I'll always just remember her, you know, up on top of all the cadets with their hand in the air, you know, and just that moment, realizing that we were on top of the world.
I've never experienced anything so exciting in college athletics as this season with that women's basketball team.
You know, we've never had like more than 10, 20 cadets come to a game, and to have like over 1,000 cadets at that championship game and for the court was just absolutely amazing. You can just tell, you know, how excited the entire community was for this team and for her as our coach.
Though she was only at West Point for half a year, Maggie Dixon left an indelible impression as a mentor, a friend, and a beacon.
Maggie was an extraordinary leader. We may have lost Maggie, but I think we got 20 new Maggies right now based on 7 months with that coach.
She took a group of girls that had hidden talent and just didn't know that they could do it or believe in themselves, and she made us feel like that we could fly, and we did.
Maggie was one of those people that comes along, you know, once in a lifetime.
Everybody who touched her and everybody who was around her, you couldn't help but take some of that and be a better person. And that's how I'll remember Maggie.
If I could be so lucky as to be like her when I grow up, and I think every single girl would agree.
Josh Elliott reporting. Maggie Dixon will be laid to rest this week. West Point officials have expressed a desire to have her buried at West Point, an honor usually reserved for high-ranking officials.
The Maggie Dixon Classic brings together 4 of the best women's college basketball teams in the nation, but also in honor of the life of Maggie Dixon, it brings together education about heart disease, which can strike at any age.
It's a really great event today. I think it's most important to know that there are people who are dying suddenly that are young, and that it's readily preventable, and that we can screen and find those patients. It's a hidden disease. It really is something that happens very subtly. You can be the picture of health, athletic, and well off, and unfortunately these things are hiding in the background.
You know, it's just special that that her brother Jamie and the Women's Coaches Association would honor her as we have. And I was just sharing with our team what this means. It's just not a game. I mean, this is an opportunity for us to recognize when people give so much of themselves.
I wish I had more of an opportunity to be able to see her teams play, and just every time I see the picture of the cadets carrying off the floor, I mean, it's just, it's really just a shame that it was cut short.
Her joy and her passion for women's basketball has just made me more aware of women's basketball and supporting women's athletics. So she taught me a lot, and she left behind all of her players from Army, which I consider to be the angels she left behind for us.
She just made the game fun again. Like, it's so easy to get serious like a job, every day monotonous. She just kept it fun and entertaining, just motivated us, just inspired. I've been inspired by her like nobody else.
She really just went in there with an attitude that they could do anything they wanted to do, and I think she brought a sense of support to women's athletics there that maybe they hadn't seen before, and I think that's something that'll go on from what she did.
She was everything that was good about the game, and whether it's men or women, she was a rising star. She was I think somebody who was just going to be a superstar in the coaching profession, and it would be awful not to remember her, because she impacted so many people in such a positive way.
Some poignant moments at the Maggie Dixon Classic. We step away for a moment, but MSGNY will be right back.
Introduce her to friends, and then she becomes their best friend. It's really how it's always been with Maggie. She's engaging, she's enjoys her, has a good time. There's not a bad thing you can say about her. I didn't know anything about West Point. I didn't know, especially a woman being at the academy, and you just, as a big brother, you're only concerned about is your little sister and how she's going to fit in. I said, hey, let's talk about this thing, see what you think, get the information, and she said, I'm taking this job. I love those kids, and at that point I knew that it was the right place for her.
She was a big sister to a lot of us, and just, I mean, everything she did on and off the court was just to help other people.
She made us believe in ourselves, which is probably the biggest thing, and we love playing for Coach Dixon. We'd do anything for her.
I had to take a moment to really think about, oh my God, did we really just win? And then I saw football players, coming charging at us, and just the whole crowd was going nuts. And I saw the girls on our faces, and I think they thought a little bit the same. We kind of all looked at each other and was like, all right, did this really just happen?
It's a team that accomplished something that no other team had done here, men or women. I mean, no team had ever gone to the NCAA tournament.
She came in here, and I think it just gave us all a new hope that, hey, we really can win the Patriot League.
We came back numerous games. She just told us that keep playing hard and everything will turn out.
I had a bunch of messages on my phone, and I called up, and I think the first person I talked to was my wife. Said that there's something wrong with Maggie, and I had no idea what it was. I flew back there, and I really flew back on the plane thinking I was going to do something. I mean, I was getting on the plane to help my little sister. I mean, that's what It's what you're supposed to do. It's what a big brother's supposed to do. So I really thought things would be all right. There couldn't be nothing wrong. It's a thing where they still can't explain. They can tell you what happened, but they can't explain to you why. It's something that questions will always be asked. They approached me about the burial and about Maggie being buried at West Point. We took some time and thought about things and really looked at things and saw the impact that Maggie had at West Point. We realized that she was always going to be the coach, remembered as the coach at West Point.
It's still there, it's still very real, but we also know that we have to, get going. Part of our motto is we will, which she brought that saying to our team. So she's still there, with us.
Good job, Al.
It may make you think about things in a different way. I think some things I wanted to do for Maggie. I mean, winning a national championship, I'd want to win it more for her than for me right now, because she talked about doing that. So that would be a great thing.